news. Now, at this point, we know that the deep state, they're going to become very, very desperate. And they're going to be pushing many different events. And we're already hearing of different events happening. We know there's an event happening in Jacksonville, which we'll get to. We know that there's a possible event in Syria. And we can see that all of this is happening at the same time. And believe me, these are not the only two. There might be even more. But I wanted to run down what has been happening here and I'm going to try to put all the pieces together here. Now, first of all, Trump came out and he tweeted that Michael Cohen's attorney clarified the record, saying his client does not know if President Trump knew about the Trump Tower meeting, out of which came nothing. The answer is that I did not know about the meeting, just another phony story by the fake news media. Everything that Lanny Davis was saying about all of it turns out to be fake, phony, and false. Now, what's very interesting is that we talked about Sessions and how Sessions looks very, very weak. And Trump right now and the Patriots, they are using a strategy to make him look as weak as possible. And the reason why they're doing this is because they want everyone to come out and say, listen, you're not allowed to get rid of Sessions. You can't do it and bring somebody else in. We want Sessions there. This is being done on purpose. It has to be done before the news drops, before everything is brought out into the open. This way, the mainstream media can't go back on what they were saying, because all you have to do is say, no, you're the ones who said this individual has to stay there. So you need to make him look weak, and you have to make it look like Trump doesn't want him in office. So let's take a look at a couple of these examples and see how this is working right now. Now, Bill Maher, who hosts the show HBO's Real Time with Bill Maher, he's out there and he was commenting on what Trump said about Jeff Sessions, that Trump hired Jeff Sessions to be loyal to him and he should be doing what Trump wants him to do. And Bill Maher is saying that, listen, if Trump hired Sessions for loyalty, well, that's an impeachable offense. And Sessions should stay and Trump should just deal with it. So with Bill Maher, it's working. On CNN, they had Representative Ted Lieu on there, and Ted Lieu said, I believe that if Donald Trump either pardoned Paul Manafort or fired Attorney General Jeff Sessions, that would cross a red line. And he would be firing Jeff Sessions because he wants to make sure that he's got someone else in place that can run interference on the Mueller investigation. That would constitute obstruction of justice. So already these individuals are making a call to keep Jeff Sessions. This is the strategy. Now, people say, why did Trump pick Jeff Sessions? Well, let's go back in time. Back in 2011, we see that there was an article published about Jeff Sessions. And it says, a detailed examination of political corruption as it is actually practiced in the halls of Congress. Schweitzer found one single member of Congress against whom no allegations could be held, who had never taken a dime that was not his, had never cut any backroom deals, had never, simply put, played the game. That individual was Jeff Sessions. That's why Trump picked Sessions. This is why Q is continually saying, trust Sessions. This is the strategy to make Trump right now and Sessions look very, very weak, very vulnerable. There's a reason for all this, because there's a big week ahead. I'm going to be talking about that in a little bit. We've heard that John McCain is dead at 81. And we know that Q continually made reference to John McCain, called him no name. And I wanted to go back to May 27, 2013, when Trump tweeted out the following. Why is Senator John McCain in Syria visiting with rebels? Make America great again. So already from back then, he was calling out McCain and pointing it out that he's meeting with the rebels. And we know there's been many, many pictures with John McCain with ISIS, with rebel leaders, and many others. Trump came out on August 25th, 2018, and tweeted, "My deepest sympathies and respect go out to the family of Senator John McCain. Our hearts and prayers are with you." Now, he said respect and sympathies to the family. He didn't say anything about No Name, which is very interesting. Like all the other presidents, like the mainstream media. I mean, he didn't say anything like the great senator from Arizona or anything like that. He didn't say anything like that at all. So I wanted to bring us back to Q's post, which is back in October 31st, 2017. This is post 6 and also post 18. And this is the first one, post 18, which is 10/31/2017. And it says, "What if John M.'s surgery was fake?" We'll go to post 6, which is October 29th, 2017. "What if John M. never had surgery and what was a cover for a future out if needed against prosecution?" Already, Q was telling us about No Name, giving us information that this might have been faked. So let's think about this for a second. McCain passed away on August 25th, 2018. This is 17 days from 9/11. And we know the number 17 with Q, with Trump, is very important. It's also the 17th year after 9/11, which is very interesting. Now, Q posted, which is post 1649, an answer to a question an Annan put up there. The question is, or the statement, "Please do not let No Name off the hook. He's a disgrace to veterans across the great country and needs to be held accountable." Q wrote, "No Name, action. Every dog has its day. Enjoy the show." Now, what's very interesting, on August 26th, it's National Dog Day. He died on the 25th. And if you look at Q's post of when he posted about McCain, where McCain was going to be in the headlines once again, this was post 1706. Now, according to the newspaper and everyone else that's reporting his death, he died at 4:28 p.m. on August 25th, 2018. And Q posted, post 1706, July 25th, 2018, 1928 Eastern Standard Time. Now we know that McCain was in Arizona. 4:28, move ahead 3 hours, that's 7:28. Put it into Army time, it's 1928. So Q posted in 1706 the exact time that McCain was going to be reported dead, which is very odd. He also said, "No Name returning to the headlines." Q. And now it's 32 days later, and Q told us that No Name is going to return to the headlines and actually has the exact same time that McCain passed away, which is very interesting in itself. If we go to post 1850, August 11th, 2018, it says, "No Name, Republican," in kill brackets, bold, departure soon. So Q is already telling us that this was going to happen. Now, these are incredible coincidences. Q is able to get the time down to almost the exact time, almost to the second, when they knew he was going to pass away. Now, the question is, did he pass away or did he flip? Did they know that this was going to be the time that he flipped, and maybe now he's working with the White Hats, or he staged the whole thing and they knew exactly when he was going to do it. These are the two theories that are going around on the boards right now. So let's move on to post-1911. So in post-1911, it says, "Never have I been so proud to be an Army soldier, hoo-ha." This was on August 16, 2018. Q wrote, "Hoo-ha, soldier, thank you for your service. God bless." Now, if we take that and we look at General Flynn on his Twitter feed, on his banner, he has hoo-ha now. This is very interesting. Coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. But how many times do you see these strange occurrences and you say, okay, after a while, it's mathematically impossible to have all these coincidences. It must be already thought of, planned out, and put up there so everyone can see it, and it's no longer a coincidence. Now, let's look at another tweet that Trump put up there. Trump tweeted, "Whatever happened to the server, capital S for server, at the center of so much corruption, C is capitalized for corruption, that the Democratic National Committee refused, all caps, to hand over to the hard-charging FBI. They broke into homes and offices earlier in the morning, but were afraid to take the server, capital S." So we have S, comma, C, comma, R. Now remember, Q always tells us misspellings matter, sentence formation matters, learn. So when you look at this, you have server and corruption are capitalized with unneeded commas. Refused is also caps. The first three letters of the flagged words, SCR. SCR in this context, Seth, Conrad, Rich. So when you look at this and you read this, the sentence, it's S capitalized, C capitalized, R capitalized. So is this another coincidence? Maybe, maybe not. We have another tweet by Trump. Trump tweeted out, this was August 25th, 2018. The time is 9:11 a.m. Trump tweeted, "The FBI only looked at 3,000 of 675,000 crooked Hillary Clinton emails. They purposely didn't look at the disasters. This news is just out." Now, what's very interesting about all of this is that they purposely didn't look at the disasters, and the time is 9/11. So that's amazing right there. Disasters, 9/11. So we know that Q and Trump, they kind of work together here. They've been sending messages out to everyone. We've been picking up on all these messages. And this is continually happening. This is not stopping. And we said in our last report that Trump was going to start laying the breadcrumbs to get the public used to what is coming. And he started to tweet out on August 25th. Many, many tweets. The first one is, Jeff Sessions said he wouldn't allow politics to influence him only because he doesn't understand what is happening underneath his command position. Highly conflicted Bob Mueller and his gang of 17 angry Dems are having a field day as real corruption goes untouched, no collusion. Now, the next tweet refers to Lindsey Graham. And remember, Lindsey Graham, I think this was on Thursday, said the following: "The president's entitled to having an attorney general he has faith in, somebody that is qualified for the job, and I think there will come a time sooner rather than later where it will be time to have a new face and a fresh voice at the Department of Justice. Clearly, Attorney General Sessions doesn't have the confidence of the president." Trump responded to Lindsey Graham in a tweet. "Every president deserves an attorney general they have confidence in. I believe every president has a right to their cabinet. These are not lifetime appointments. You serve at the pleasure of the president." Remember, mirroring everything that happened under the Obama administration. Trump then tweeted this tweet out, and this is the big boom. Remember, Q has been saying that who has the power? POTUS. Who can declassify? Who needs to get involved at the very last minute? Well, Trump is already laying the breadcrumbs right now. He says, big story out that the FBI ignored tens of thousands of crooked Hillary emails, many of which are really bad, all caps. Also gave false election info. I feel sure that we will soon be getting to the bottom of all this corruption. At some point, I may have to get involved, signaling he's going to declassify the information and get involved in all this, just like Q said. Last tweet, the FBI looked at less than 1% of crooked emails. So he's saying that they didn't look at any of the emails, nothing was investigated, and he's going to have to get involved in all of this. Now, and Annan put up the meeting of Trust the Plan. And we keep hearing Trust the Plan and what's going on now, and everyone thinking that Sessions is weak, Trump is weak, that the deep state has the upper hand right now because of what's going on with Cohen and many other individuals. This is what Trust the Plan means. Trust the Plan. This is what Q is talking about. The plan is to get the deep state to like the guys who will be taking down themselves. We need the public to accept this result so there are no uprisings. Millions of people's lives are at stake. Rounding up the bad guys was the easy part. A couple of executive orders, send in the SEALs. We have the NSA and best intel on the planet. Our military is unmatched, and we have a real commander-in-chief who lets his boys get to work. Nobody can hide. But deprogramming decades of brainwashed citizens and telling them that everything they've been told is a lie, that's a different beast entirely. That's the major problem here. It's not about going after all these individuals. It's not about arresting them. It's bringing this all out into the open. And this is why Q continually says, people are going to reject. People are going to be angry. We're going to have to explain to these people what has been going on all these years because it's going to be very hard to comprehend. Now, Q finally posted once again, and this is post 1932, August 26th. Q says, suicide weekend. Hands up. Brackets 30 in bold. Brackets 0:28, close brackets. Impossible. Coincidence. We are in control. Big week ahead. Now, Bruce Orr testifies in 2 days, and he absolutely cannot escape from or lie about the fact that he was funneling information from the fired and discredited Christopher Steele back to the FBI to continue the spying operation. He cannot escape from or lie about the fact that his wife was working for Fusion GPS. It's all on record. I mean, he can try, but it's on record. It's a fact. So why does this all matter? Because Bruce Orr doesn't work in intelligence. He works in the Department of Justice. He's a major key to the entire scheme. Now, Q posted the number 30, hands up, big week ahead, which could mean in the next 30 days, there's going to be a lot of arrests, a lot of people putting their hands up. And Q posted 28 minutes, which is 0:28. It's funny because McCain's death was at minute 28. Future proves past. So we see right now that we could see a lot of people being round up in the next 30 days, or it could be 30 people are going to be arrested in the next couple of days. We'll have to wait and see, but we know it's going to be a very big week. We know something big is coming. Now, since we know that this is going to be a big week because Q has been telling us this, it seems kind of odd that we have an event today where there was an event in Jacksonville. This is a shooting where people were playing video games at a Madden tournament. and this was in Jacksonville. And what's very interesting, there were, teenagers, children there. It happened in Florida once again. It involved guns. We might hear the calls for gun control to bring that up once again, to clog the news cycle, to keep it very, very busy, because something big is about to happen. And it's not just happening here with the news with these individuals. It's happening all around the world. Remember, Trump canceled Pompeo from going out to North Korea. This was done on purpose to play into the mainstream media, to play into the deep state, to make them think that they are very weak right now. This is the whole show right now, to make them believe that Sessions is weak. He's not investigating. Trump is weak, very upset with Sessions, wants to get rid of him. He wants the mainstream media, the deep state, to say, no, you must keep Sessions in place, let him do his job, because they think he's doing absolutely nothing. In the meantime, Horowitz, Huber, and the rest, they've been putting all of this together, and then Sessions is going to come out with boom, 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 boom. And already from Q, we know from the last post, 1932, that there are going to be many arrests made, hands up, maybe in 30 days or 30 people. North Korea, Kim Jong-un, is playing along with this. The North Korean media lashed out at the double-dealing U.S. for hatching a criminal plot against North Korea. Now, they're saying that the U.S. is busy staging secret drills involving man-killing special units while having a dialogue with a smile on its face. This is what the paper is writing. And I wanted to go and do a little flashback to May 2018, when Trump came out and said he's canceling the North Korea summit because open hostility. Was it ever canceled? No. This whole thing has been set up. We know the strategy. We know what he's doing. He's making it seem like everything that he's done is not working. He's weak. He can't do anything. Out in Afghanistan, we know the peace talks are going on right there, and we know that the deep state put Ghani into power, and many of the people in the cabinet with Ghani, that they are part of the deep state, the puppet government. Already, we see individuals getting very, very nervous in Afghanistan. They know what's going to happen there. Afghan's national security advisor, one of the most influential aides to Ghani, resigned on August 25th. Now, we can see that things are happening all around the world. We see it out in North Korea. We see it in Afghanistan. We also see that the Syrian army, they deployed a large force to the southeastern area of Idlib. We know this is the last area of the paid mercenaries, the Islamic State, Al-Qaeda, the rebels, you name it. They're all there. They're all the paid mercenaries. And they're ready for a major offensive. We also know that Russia is out there, and they're telling us that the coalition forces, the rebels, the terrorist groups, well, they're planning a false flag in this area with chemical weapons. They're going to blame it on Assad. Again, why would Assad use chemical weapons when he has the entire country? Why would he ever use it on his own people? They would never come back. They would never support him. It makes no sense. This is all being done and staged right now because they're going after the last part of the rebels, the deep state within Syria. And this might even mean that there might be missiles fired from the U.S. into this area. Remember, there were missiles fired twice into Syria. Did this help the Islamic State? Did this help the rebels? No. Actually, it made it a lot worse for them. They didn't advance in territory like they did under Obama. Actually, their territory was taken away. They were easily pounced on by Russia and Syria. So we know that Russia has been building up their forces around the Mediterranean Sea right now. They understand that something big is about to happen. The deep state, it's like their last Hail Mary. And they're trying to push this as best they possibly can to try to keep their last remaining area in Syria. We know that there's a U.S. Navy destroyer, Sullivan's, with 56 cruise missiles on board, which arrived in the Persian Gulf several days ago. We also know there's a B-1B strategic bomber of the U.S. Air Force, armed with AGM-158 JSSM air-to-surface missiles, was redeployed to the air base in Qatar. Now, we know that Bolton was out there playing it up, saying, listen, if there's a chemical attack and Assad used chemical weapons, the United States is going to use force in this area. Now, this is not going to be against Assad or their infrastructure or anything like this. This is going to be against the remaining deep state rebels and the other forces that are in this area, probably really dug in. And we can see at this point that everything is building right now. Look at North Korea. Look at Syria. This doesn't mean we're going to war. This means this is an operation to take out the deep state, to make it look like everything is happening at once. Trump is too busy with everything, very weak. Sessions is not looking, doesn't know what's going on, keeping the entire deep state and the mainstream media off guard right now, making them think they have the upper hand. Now they know there's news that's going to be dropped this week or next week. This is why we see events. I believe we're going to see more events. I think they're going to keep this up to keep the news cycle clogged as best they possibly can. But eventually what's going to happen is that this information will be coming out and it'll be reported on other media stations, and they will not be able to hide this for much longer as the news continually comes out. And the news cycle being clogged up with other events, well, guess what? It won't work. And the whole thing will start to fall apart. And the public will start to learn the truth. Now, is this going to happen all at once? No, I think they're going to let it out slowly and over many, many weeks until they get a lot of the information out. And eventually when Trump comes out and he says, okay, here it is. Here's all the facts. Here it is. And they're going to go back in time and put it all together. And people are going to be angry. They're going to reject it every step of the way until the very end. And it's going to be a very, very difficult time. And we can see this is why Q has been saying this. This is why they've been taking their time, because most of the people don't understand what is going on right now. Most of the people don't realize this news is about to drop. They're looking at Cohen. They're looking at, Stormy Daniels. They're looking at all this other stuff that the mainstream media has kept in front of everyone. They don't know what has been going on in the background. They don't know that all these people are guilty, that they have all the evidence on them, that